we're transitioning from part-time homesteading to full-time farming. Part of this plan is to build out a financially viable market garden. Now, normally, we would have planted this right after our last frost date, which is at the end of May. But a super cold spring has made that impossible. Now, it's mid-June, and we've got days of rain forecasted ahead of us. Can we get this garden planted in time? So what are we doing?
You gotta lime the rows and try to change the pH.
All right, down to the garden.
And what are we doing with the tiller and stuff?
We're gonna throw the lime all over the rows, and then we're gonna till it in.
Crushed limestone has a pH of 9.9.
Should be able to manage breaking it up further.
Yeah. Our soil has a pH of 5.5, too low for most of the plants. We're trying to raise it to 6.5. And yes, we're spreading it by hand. A market garden is part of our diversified plan for income from the farm. We already want to grow the majority of our own produce, but have now set our sights on feeding our friends, neighbors, and community as well. This year is all about experimentation as we figure out how the market garden fits into our overall farm model and prepare its permanent location. Measuring 30,000 square feet, or 2/3 of an acre, this plot will be the home of our market garden starting in 2024. We hope to not only produce for ourselves, but also stock our future on-farm store, which we are already affectionately calling the Russia Stornish. But for now, as we save for tractor equipment such as a bed former, we will be putting in our market garden in line with our U-pick berry rows. In 2024, these rows will be planted with raspberries and blueberries. The U-pick berries and flowers are another pillar of our plan to make our living off of the farm. But more on that in future videos.
So we have our tomatoes, tomatillos, and peppers planted now. It's this whole row, and then a little bit on the next one.
So, starting the day with farming. What are we doing?
Plant the garden.
Things that can breathe work too.
In a turn of events that really isn't surprising at this point, the forecast changed. June 14th and 15th, we were rained out. Again, rain in the middle of preparing for rain. We put in a few good hours, but we're still nowhere near finished planting the garden. At this point, only 2 days away from a long stretch of heavy rain, we had only planted about 1/3 of what we needed to get done. So we have the onions planted. Jack's making potato mounds. We're gonna plant the potatoes now. And I gotta turn the GoPro off because it's overheating because it is really, really hot out today. which is unexpected, but welcome. We thought we had a whole day to plant, but the forecast changed again, and now we were racing to beat a mid-evening downpour. So, this is day 1865 planting the garden. It might be day 4, I don't know. If you're watching this in some other year other than 2023, this is late June, well, late June, second half of June. Not early spring. We've been at it forever. The weather is not cooperating. It's been too cold or too wet or too hot. But we are plugging away and getting this in now. It was super cold for June. We both had to layer up. So here are the Tracy potatoes. We don't have high hopes, but we're happy enough to use them. So Tracy is one of our cats. She got herself locked in where we stored the potatoes from last year and decided to pee on them. While we threw out the actual potatoes that got wet, we figured with the rest of the bin we could try an experiment. For ourselves, of course, no one else. So many left. A variation on the Jack 3000.
No, I'm a furrower.
So it's late on Saturday? See, I don't even know what's going on. It's nearly 7 o'clock on Saturday night. We've been at it all day, the whole thing. We just had dinner and now we're going back out to plant. It's now starting to rain, which we do need. I wish it was more than 12 degrees. It's very cold. And we have several hours worth of work still to do. So what are we planting?
We got our squash and pumpkins and sunflowers and melons all on the ground.
There's a lot to do still. And it's cold and I forgot my gloves. We cleaned out half the pigeon coop, the old pigeon coop, and we spread that everywhere and Jack tilled it in while I was making dinner. Which is a stretch. I heated up some pizza. Back to it.
So it was raining already by the time we got finished, but we got it done. Our market garden for 2023 is now in the ground.